I'm out looking around or something, I normally find something different, and I like to try it at least once. So that's what I did here. Now, I've already started. I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like. Okay, and it's kind of burned into it by a scorch marker. And now they sell these online. They also sell paste and a couple other things. And you know, you have to put this on very thin. So when you're putting it on there, now I have another one. I'll show you guys how it works. And then of course you just use a template, something like this. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. I mean, you can probably make something. You can draw it, write it if you're really good, handy drawing. Now I do like using, you know, a couple pieces of tape. And basically what they're telling you to do. Let me see if I got some more. Take this one off here and put some new tape on it, because I was sitting there messing around with it, seeing what I can do with it. And this is what it is right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, and pick up one. I forget what it costs, but it's just a few bucks. And then a little bit of tape here. Let's see if I can get it. But I used it up here. Actually, I did another one, and I'll show you here in a second what I kind of did wrong the first time I put it on there. It's not level. I mean, it's not level. It's just not flat down. Because you want it nice and flat, like that. Now, the marker actually has like a pen in this end here, you know, so you can write. And then on this side here, it has a little foam, I guess you want to call it, like paintbrush, a little foam thing on the other end. And I don't use that one. I don't really think you need to unless you're doing something really big. So I don't mind just using this. But what you got to do is, when you first start these things, you know, let me get something else here. Let's see what I got laying here. Okay, I'll just take this piece of wood here. And what you do, you got to shake this thing up. Okay, shake it up real good. Because it might take, when you first use it, it might take a little bit of time to get it shook up. And then what I did was just, you press down. It goes up and down like this. You just hold down like that. But when you're putting it on there, you don't want to do that. Okay, because what it does is, I'll show you exactly what it does if you get too much on it. See, it starts bleeding out. It gets, it just goes different. Right? You don't want that, because when you go to burn this, it's just going to be all over the place. You're not going to have that real, you know, kind of neat look like this. And you don't need a lot of it. That's the crazy thing about it. You just need a kind of, it can be light. You know, now I got a little bit heavy there because I did that. Let's hope it comes out okay. And I think that's too much on there. Just kind of hold down your template. Just mark it in. It don't have to be perfect. I think, like you can see, like it's going on really light. If you can see that, I don't think that makes any difference. Like, you know, like you have to press down on it. I kind of think just maybe a little bit, you know, real lightly. Because like I said, I've done it before. I'll show you, if it does it, I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I'll explain to you that when you press down hard on this pen, what it does underneath your template, your stencils, I guess you want to call them. Just kind of do it like this. Takes a little bit of time if you got, depends on what words or whatever you're going to put down. Get a little bit more. I noticed that, like I said, I noticed I didn't have to use that much of it when I did it, because I've done it a couple times just to, you know, see how far I can, or what I got to do to get it to work proper. And we'll do painting like this, you know, with the stencil. So you got all your marking done. Like I said, don't have to be perfect. Just if you see something that needs to be filled in, go ahead and fill it in. Just go back through and just go, oh, I didn't get enough in that. Just put a little extra there. Don't make it heavy, okay? Because you'll see what I'm talking about when you make it heavy. Now, a couple minutes maybe it'll dry. Pull that off real easy. Okay. Let me lay that off to the side. Now, when you use your heat gun, this is a 1500 watt heat gun. I bought this from Harbor Freight. It's called Drill Master. I'm pretty sure that's where I got it at. It wasn't too expensive, but I do know you're supposed to have at least about a 1500 watt, and you can use either one. Most of the ones that you see that people use, they're real small in the end. They kind of come down into a point, but you really don't need that. Now, if you stay in one spot too long, what happens then, you start burning your wood. And you don't want to burn your wood, so you just kind of go over it and come back and go over it, come back, go over it. It'll turn, it just takes a little time. You can probably see it doing it now. But I would say if you had that little point on the end, it would actually direct it more onto the wording, you know what I'm saying? And it'd be a little bit easier than what I'm doing, but you know, I'm just taking my time on it, don't matter. Now the more you burn it, the more you put more heat onto it, the darker it will get. So if you want it nice and dark, you just go back over it, try not to burn your wood, and it'll get darker. Okay, now what I'm talking about, if you put too much on it, you can see, like, I don't know if you can see a little bit of that's running coming down on the top here. There's a little bit over here that's running, because that's where I dipped it back down in to get it to come out more. But that's what will happen if you put too much of this on there. It'll just start running, and then you kind of ruined your project. But if you look real closely, you can see the color of the wood being white, and then up here you can see where I did up here, so you start turning a brown maybe. I don't know if you can probably see that. It's got like a shadow over it. But, you know, once you would paint that, or not paint it, but stain it or something like that, it's all right. But let it dry before you decide to wipe it or anything. Because what you do is, if I'd happen to wipe that now, I'd just smear it across there. So just kind of let it dry and sit for a little bit. And so that's about it. So if you'd like to try one, just pick the marker up and then... you know, get your heat gun. I would say some of the maybe some of the hair dryers that women have probably up there, they're pretty high in that temperature. You know, some of the really good ones. But I'm sure it's got to be a certain temperature to get that to work like that. But then, you know, you would just kind of clear coat it, put a clear base over it once it dries up a little bit. You could probably, I would say you might be able to sand it. I'm not for sure. I haven't tried that yet, but that is a thought to go ahead and try something different with it. But pretty neat. They have this in a paste, but I don't know if I would use it right yet, because unless I was doing some big patterns, you know what I mean, something like an animal or something, you had to fill it all in, you know what I'm saying. But I really like the pen. I mean, it's really cool what they make out nowadays. Okay, if you have any different thoughts or comments, or, you know, just, you know, leave them down below, and I'll get back as soon as I can. But give us a try. Maybe you'll like it. So, all right, thanks for watching.